recording. Okay, everyone, so we'll start with Hypertension Mastery, Take Control, Reach Your Goal, Week 2, and today we're going to be deepening our understanding of hypertension control. Last week we talked about just the basics of controlling our blood pressure. Today we go a little deeper into the things that we can do and the reasons we want to control our blood pressure. And we're going to watch a video today about Emma. Did you guys know that over 67 million adults in the U.S. live with high blood pressure? Some of those people don't even know. So today we're going to watch a video about Emma. She's one of the millions of people whose heart is working overtime, but she doesn't even realize it. So she's going to go to the doctor for a checkup.
It's a beautiful fall evening. The sun is setting. The dog finally stopped barking. Life is good. But inside, there's trouble brewing, and Emma has no idea. Although she feels fine, like her father, Emma is one of the 67 million adults in the U.S. with high blood pressure, or hypertension. Just like her radiator that's on the fritz, Emma's heart is working overtime to get the job done. Let's have a look. The heart is the pump in our bodies, delivering blood to the entire system through a set of pipes, or blood vessels of all sizes. Smoking, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, physical inactivity, family history, and increased age all contribute to these blood vessels, or our pipes, becoming less elastic. The more blood our heart has to pump through stiff, narrowing arteries, the higher our blood pressure. When the force of the blood against our artery walls is too high, life-threatening health problems can result. Problems like kidney disease, heart disease, stroke, even heart attack. Can Emma get her pressure down before it's too late?
Okay, so next week we'll check back in on Emma to see what she does about finding out she has high blood pressure and how she manages it. So understanding blood pressure control, it's a goal to maintain our blood pressures under 130 on top and 80 on the bottom. That is from the American College of Cardiology, so that is just an overall recommendation for everyone. Your doctor may give you a specific goal. So if your doctor gives you a specific goal, you definitely go with that because that's tailored just for you. Sometimes it's dependent on your health status and other conditions you may have, your age, other risk factors. So your doctor may have one a little less than that, a little higher than that, all depending on you. So, but 130 over 80 is our general goal for that. The importance of maintaining target blood pressure levels, and we talked about this some last week. It reduces the risk of heart disease and issues with our heart. It helps individuals that already have other high-risk factors going on to prevent other issues from worsening. And it also, you can talk with your doctor about your blood pressure to set those personal goals to help you achieve the best possible goal for you and prevent long-term complications. The major benefits are lowering your risk of heart disease and stroke, preventing kidney disease. It also protects our vision and our sexual function, so it decreases the likelihood of peripheral artery disease. Any of the small vessels in our body can be damaged by uncontrolled blood pressure. So by controlling our blood pressure, we're increasing our life expectancy and the quality of life with along with that. So living a long, healthy life is the goal in that. There's some common medications that can be given for high blood pressure, and some of these may seem familiar to you guys over here. You can look at this list. There's ACE inhibitors. Some of those are lisinopril and enalapril. There are other medicines in these categories. Angiotensin II receptor blockers like losartan or valsartan. Calcium channel blockers like amlodipine or diltiazem. Diuretics like hydrochlorothiazide or furosemide, and beta blockers like atenolol or metoprolol. And so you see there's lots of different categories of blood pressure medicines. That's why if your doctor ever prescribes one for you and for whatever reason you can't take it, you're having side effects, don't just stop the medicine without letting them know. Let them know they may want to adjust the dose of medicine or change you to something completely different. And are any of y'all currently taking blood pressure medicines, or do these sound familiar? Maybe a family member you've heard of taking these. The importance of medication adherence. It ensures that your blood pressure is going to be under consistent control. You want to try to take your blood pressure medicines the same time every day and not skip doses. That's going to reduce the risk of stroke, heart attack, and kidney damage. It improves your overall health. And someone said they did recognize some of those medicines. If any of you have been prescribed any medicines like that, do you do pretty good at taking the medicine every day? Do you miss doses often? Is that a challenge for you? Yep, I see someone else take some of the medicines on the list. Does anybody have difficulty with remembering that, there's some tips that can help setting up a pill planner so you can look back and see if you've actually taken the medicine that day. Setting an alarm in your phone to help remember. If you can keep it out where it's in sight so that it's not out of sight and out of mind, that way it's going to be a remembrance for you to take it every day.
I have a pill box and I separate mine every week, so I have a whole week's worth.
Great. And then because it's something you do every day, sometimes you're like, was that yesterday or today that I took it, if you're just reaching into a pill bottle? But you can go back to Monday morning and look and see if it's missing and know then, oh, yes, I took it. And overcoming the barriers to medication adherence. To stay committed to your medicine regimen, it's important to understand the benefit and the risk, to know why you're taking the medicine and what it does, and why it's important. That helps us stay on track better than somebody just saying, here, take this pill. If you know it's making your heart healthier, it is helping prevent kidney damage, the things it's doing to prevent, and the risk you take by not taking it, it really helps kind of feel the importance to that to you. All right, so we've talked about how important blood pressure control is, but one of the main ways we can see how we're doing with our blood pressure control is by checking our blood pressure. And today we're going to talk about the correct way to check your blood pressure. And some people realize, whoa, I'm not doing all these steps. So this is the best way to check your blood pressure and get a really accurate reading. You want to choose the monitor that fits you properly. They recommend automatic cuff style upper arm monitor for accuracy. You want to make sure it has good batteries that are fresh. You don't want to have old batteries. Once they get low, they'll start giving you some crazy readings sometimes. You want to rest quietly for about 5 minutes before you take a measurement. Sit comfortably. Rest your back against the back of your chair with your feet flat on the floor, not crossed. And then put the cuff on. Make sure it's fitting appropriately. Ensure it's snug, but not squeezing too tight. It says about 2 fingertips underneath if you could put it under there. And you want to try to measure your blood pressure about the same time each day, once in the morning and once in the evening. That's the best So I know a lot of times if we're in a hurry, we might slap it on, take it real quick and write it down and be done with it. But if you can, get comfortable, sit there for about 5 minutes quietly and then take it. And someone said, I have a friend who suffered a heart attack in January. He's now on metoprolol. He didn't like the way it made him feel and took it upon himself to stop taking it. I don't agree with it, but he said he actually feels better since he stopped taking it. Shouldn't he inform the doctor? Yes, absolutely, because like we talk about, hypertension can be the silent killer. So even though he's saying he feels better, he may feel better because of being off the medicine that made him feel bad, but definitely tell him to reach out to his doctor because he could try something different for him, to be helping make sure that blood pressure stays where it is. And I would definitely encourage your friend too to check his blood pressure, make sure, that it's running well. Even if it is, go ahead and tell him to let his doctor know he had to stop that medicine, because sometimes medicines are started for multiple reasons, not just blood pressure control on that one. So I would just say, just let them know that, hey, I can't take that when I stopped it. I feel better. What can we do? And the doctor may tell him multiple things. It could be continue to monitor and we'll see what we need to do, or let's start this new medicine. But that's a great question and good advice you can give them to reach out to their doctor. And so this is what we were just talking about taking a measurement. Maintain that proper posture with your back rested against the chair, no talking or moving during the reading. Make sure your cuff is positioned properly. Start the measurement. Remain still and quiet during the process, and record the reading. If you can, keep a log either on paper or if you like to keep it in your phone on an app. Either way, that gives you and the doctor so much information for them to be able to see those consecutive blood pressures that are taken, not just when you're in the doctor's office, but how they run, on your daily life, how they're doing. They can make so many adjustments based off of that. And consistent measurement times are great. So morning and evening, that way you're getting that overall look. Use a logbook or a digital app. And you can note on there any factors that you think might have had a role in if it's high or low or great that day. If the stress level was high, put that on there. Or if it was a really good day, if you followed your diet really well that day and watched your sodium, or if you felt like you were off track, if you got good sleep that day, or if you didn't, exercise, if you got some, what you did, how long. Any of that information you want to include on there is going to help you see what really helps maintain your blood pressure control and what affects it when you get off track when it goes up. And when to seek medical advice. Okay, so we consider it elevated readings if it's 130 to 139 on the top, 80 to 89 on the bottom. And then stage 2, if you're checking your blood pressures and you're seeing that they're just staying above the 140 over 90 pretty often, I would go ahead and call your doctor before their next visit and just say, hey, I've been checking and these are what they've been running. Would you like for me to send these in? They may tell you to continue to monitor, or they may want to make an adjustment before your visit or even get you in for a visit. It's an emergency if you start running your blood pressure is 180 on the top or 120 on the bottom. You want to check it, and I would say if you get a reading like that, I would rest for about 5 minutes. I would recheck it again to make sure that was right, make sure it wasn't a fluke or something going on. If it's still that high, you need to contact your doctor, go to the urgent care or go to the emergency room, especially if you have any symptoms, headache, shortness of breath, confusion, dizziness, numbness, tingling. The blood pressure that high can be a medical emergency. So definitely 180 over 120 or higher, get that checked out immediately. All right. Any questions or anybody want to talk about anything that we went over today? This class is not as long. I went over on my class the first week. We have so much we cover, and this week is not as long. So we have time to talk if y'all have any questions. If y'all don't have questions, that's fine. We're going to email out some links of what we talked about today, like how to check your blood pressure properly. We'll send you a little link on that and some other things. If anybody wants to come on the chat and type anything in or come off of mute, feel free to. No pressure if you don't want to. If you don't have any questions and you're good, that is fine too. But if you don't have any questions, you're free to hop off at any moment. And if you do have questions, I'll stay on the line for a few minutes, okay?